Not sure how well this is going to show up, but we're going to give it a shot. So one thing I forgot to mention with the valve lapping is when you're done doing that, make sure you don't just rely on wiping the valves in the seats with a cloth. Use a solvent like a carb cleaner, brake cleaner, anything, because those little particles of lapping compound kind of sit in some spots that aren't easily wiped out. So clean everything really good. Clean, 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 clean. Just keep cleaning. Um, so after I was done that, I did some cleaning of all the seats and all that. After I was done lapping, went through and I cleaned all of the guides and everything in here. I chased the spark plug holes. I chased other bolt holes just because it's easier, and any grit and stuff like that's not going to wind up under the valves. Blew everything out. I already got 2 seals in because I figured they were too close. I might as well throw them in. So this is how I've been doing this. This is by the way, a Brian Tooley 660 Platinum spring kit with titanium retainers. It's basically his best just drop-in valve spring kit. So here are these seats. You just slide them on first. I'm just going to go ahead and slide all of the rest of them on so I don't do something silly and forget. And his kit comes with everything. It comes with the seats, the seals, the retainers, the locks, everything you need to do this job. The seals are, I'm not sure if there's a brand or what, but there's 2 different ones. They're a brown and a black. Viton seals. The black is the intake and the brown is the exhaust. So we're going to do an intake now. We want to go ahead and put some oil on the seal. I've just been kind of squirting a little bit in there and moving it around, lubing up the guide a little bit, and just kind of using my fingers, just kind of getting it started, making sure that it's lined up somewhat straight. And the way I'm pushing these things on is I'm using a 12 millimeter deep 12-point socket. I'm using what I think is a water pump bolt. I'm not sure. It's threaded the same as the heads. I think it's 8 by 125. There's a washer, and this is just a 5/8 wrench kind of put on like that. I got this idea because Brian Tooley actually posted on Tech about he showed a tool that he uses, and it was like some kind of prying tool, and it just seemed to work really well. It looked better than hitting them on with a hammer. So I decided to try it. So I thread that in a little bit, set the socket down on top, kind of try to make sure everything's parallel, and the wrench is perpendicular to the travel as much as possible. It could even be up a little bit since you're going to be pushing down, and then just simply give it a good solid push, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it hit bottom, and no beating, no hitting. If you really wanted to, you could take the hammer and socket and just give each one a little tiny light little tap, just to make sure. I mean, you could tell. I actually tapped one on just to see if there was a difference, if it went on any further or anything like that. And it really, you can tell when it hits. You could feel it. It feels like it bottoms out. But this way, I figure, is less likely to damage something, since I tend to hammer on things that I'm not supposed to. Again, you just screw this in, just kind of get a feel for how far, and line it up, and then just give it a press. Boom, bottoms out. Works really well for how simple it is. I mean, it's kind of. I know you can hit them in with a hammer. Lots of guys do it. Just figured I would try it. And as soon as I'm done doing this, I'm going to probably give the valves one more little wipe down clean, and then I will show you how to put the valves in. And one thing to be aware of with this with these seals. There's two different, one color specific. They're specific to intake and exhaust. They intake, I think the metal sleeve's a little bit longer, so it'll actually look like it sits lower than the exhaust one. I had to actually check that because I saw that and thought that I wasn't getting them seated all the way. But as long as it seats fully, and you'll know when it does, shouldn't have any problems. Last one here, and then I'll stop the video and pick it back up on the valve install. I just screwed in enough to. There's really not that much pressure, honestly. If these threads can hold the valve spring compressor, they can hold what I'm doing right now. It's really not that much pressure, and I got enough of it threaded in there where I don't have to worry about pulling threads out. A little push, and that's it. I'll do the last two, and then we'll be ready to put some valves in this thing.